Good afternoon, Rajula madam.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'll just call Metusala. Once he's inside, we can start, no, ma'am?
Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'll just call Metusala. He's joining now, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Camera. Good afternoon, one and all.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I hope you have all enjoyed yesterday's session. We have successfully completed day one of our FTP, 5-day FTP. Am I audible to everyone? Yes. Okay.
Ma'am, he's having some connectivity issue, so he's trying from another device. He'll join in 2-3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, he has joined.
Oh,
I'm
good
starting the
afternoon,
webinar.
sir. Jan, sir. Good afternoon. I think he is muted. Now he has to unmute.
I'm not sure if there is still issue.
Yeah, ma'am. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
No. No, I have not muted. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I have unmuted.
Okay.
It shows as though you have muted.
Yeah, the red
I have
signal is there.
unmuted.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have unmuted actually.
Okay.
So good afternoon, everyone.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm launching the webinar, then
Is
you
it
can
okay now?
start.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
launching the webinar.
yeah. Gomati, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. My dear
Can you
friend,
hear
how
me?
can I
No.
forget your voice? Very happy to hear
Yeah.
it again.
Okay. No. Yeah. Happy to see you also and happy to join this webinar. There is a
Yes, sir.
technical problem here, so I'm having to struggle. Rajula, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, each and everyone. Welcome to those who believe in the power of dreams and who would like to join me in my exploration of life. Giving encouragement to others is a most welcome gift. For the result of it are lifted spirits, increased self worth, and a hopeful future. Welcome all experiences. You never know which one is going to turn everything on. So I welcome Ms. S. Benita to introduce today's resource person, Dr. John.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm I should introduce the speaker, day 2 of the International Faculty Development Program. Dr. John Methuselah is a renowned educationist and literature enthusiast with over 20 years of experience in both academia and training. He is currently the training manager at AEC, previously served as a faculty at Adikavi Namaya University, Rajahmundry. Dr. Methuselah has a deep interest in human resource development, creative writing, teacher training, and soft skills. He has been a research person for the Andhra Pradesh Human Resource Development Institute and has contributed to the Board of Studies in various colleges. Additionally, he has presented and published papers at numerous national and international seminars and has also been a panelist in over 14 webinars focusing on ethics in higher education. Today, Dr. Methuselah will talk about digital tools that make English teaching and learning more important and interesting, sharing valuable insights into how technology can enhance our teaching practice. Let's welcome Dr. John Methuselah. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you for the kind words for me. Thank you for the introduction. It's an honor and a privilege joining this international webinar. And thanks to Globethics and thanks to Professor Rajula for calling me into this program. And I thank Dr. Gomati madam for inviting me for this program. Gomati madam, I know her for a very long time. We have been colleagues in another university. So we work together and we know each other's work. So this program on digital tools, I think we are all aware of. And yesterday there was a session, I think you might have attended this session and had some. Before I start my session, I would actually like at least 2 or 3 people to respond on what happened yesterday. And so that we can build on that. If so, I will also be able to know if I am duplicating something. So it should not be like duplicating on something that has already happened. And you will also feel bored about that. So can I have at least 3, 4 people, at least 2 women and 2 men giving feedback on yesterday's session and also telling us some points on what happened yesterday. Hello? Sound not
Yes,
clear,
Methuselah.
voice not clear. Yeah. No, I am asking the participants, 3 or 4 participants. Good afternoon, sir. Abhi Pattaik has actually responded saying, yesterday was regarding artificial intelligence and language models. Yes, super, super. Then somebody else, Patnaik, thank you so much. Then, then some more people. I want at least 3 or 4 people. Now that Patnaik has responded, maybe 3 more. It was an artificial intelligence, he said. So anything else from your side? Hello, are you responding?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Developing 21st century skills. Neha Motwani. Thank you, Neha, madam. And Lakshmi, madam, says traditional pedagogies. Why the urgency in pedagogical shift? Okay, super, super, super. Then one more. Gifting teaching strategies. Very good. So, we had a thorough discussion on the use of ChatGPT by the students in their assignment work. Okay. Integrating digital tools. Super, super. Okay, Lakshmi ma'am, thank you so much. So all the people responded. Yes, Jashwant is here. He says, good afternoon. Yesterday's lecture was about artificial intelligence and its usage and also the multiple usage in our strategies also. Yeah, daily enhancement in teacher education, digital enhancement in teacher education. Yeah, there is a, thank you. Thank you everyone for this great response. That means something has actually touched you and actually made you think of it. Thank you. So, Rajula, madam, can you please show the PPT? I mean,
Yeah.
please share it with all of us so that we can see it on the screen.
Yes, it is already on.
So the session is about digital tools enhancing English teaching and learning. Now I think the scope that we have here is a little limited to only the digital tools that enhance English teaching and learning. But the scope of teaching and learning, I mean, it's very, very big. So if you're talking, we can talk about 2 things here. One is the digital tools. The other is about teaching and learning. Right. So if you divide these two, then let us talk about first teaching and learning. Enhancing means we are actually trying to improve, right? Enhancing teaching and learning. So it is not about enhancing the periods, the number of periods of teaching in English or teaching English language, or it is not about improving or increasing. Enhancing means increasing, so increasing the learning. do you think like if you are thinking in those terms of increasing the time or the number of periods for learning, then I think we are making a mistake again, because here it's not the number of hours that we spend, or it's not the amount of time that we spend teaching English, uh, but it is the quality time that we spend learning English. So teaching means it is one way. Learning means it is 360 degrees. So what are we trying to do with digital tools? What are the tools that failed? Did the tools that we were using till now fail? And is that the reason why we are using digital tools? Is it this question that we are trying to answer today? Can I have responses, one or two responses from you in the chat box? Yes, any responses in the chat box? I'm looking at the chat box. Any questions? Now I have asked you a question. Any responses for this? Fine. Okay, if there are no responses or if you're still thinking, that's okay. So I'll try to repeat my question once again. Now we are talking about the digital tools, using digital tools to enhance English teaching and learning. Let us answer this question first. Were the tools that we were using, that means the non-digital tools that we were using, not uh, enhancing English teaching and learning? Question number one. If they are not, then can we actually tell them why, no, understand why they failed? What made them fail? Only will be clear about, or we will be convinced about the digital tools. I can give you 101 digital tools, but first of all, usage of digital tools has a meaning, has a purpose. So there should be a purpose. Then why are we using? There should be a reason also. Right? What could be the reason? Because the earlier ones failed, or are we taking this to enhance, I mean, as a support to what we have done earlier?
Vatsala, your voice is actually not at all clear. It's breaking a lot.
I want a response from the participants. Can I
I think we have lost him. He'll join back. Very sorry about it. We can't hear you, Madhusala. It's not audible.
Yeah, am I
Yes,
audible?
yes. Now clear, now
Boy,
clear.
yeah,
Please
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There is some network problem here. Serious network problem. Uh,
Okay.
anyhow, I have questions. Like, I want you to respond. One is, if we are thinking of digital tools, then do you think the actual tools that we were using hitherto have failed in enhancing teaching and learning? Can I get the responses from one or two people? I'm looking at the chat box. Any response? Shall I repeat the question? Yes. So, if we are talking about the digital use of digital tools in enhancing teaching learning in English, enhancing English teaching learning process, do you think that the methods that we have used till now, that means the non-digital methods that we have used till now, have actually failed? That is the question. Kirti Malik says, I don't think the traditional tools have failed whatsoever. The digital tools are only an enhancement. Good, very good. I think digital tools are effective, says Sunita Bola. Then Teresa Wahenbaum says no. Jeshwant says no, not failed completely, but the generation has taken the usage in an advanced manner. Okay. So Lakshmi says both methods need to persist. Okay. And Sunita says, and can be used alongside the traditional method. Dr. Rupali says, not failed, it is still impactful. So Ferdinand says, according to the age, and not failed. Okay, fine. So this digital Generation Z, right, from the bloomers, no, from the bloomers of 1970s to the Gen Z, which is going on now. There has been a change in technology, in the use of technology. And the change, there's been a change in the environment, the ecosystem around us. That's the problem. So what we are trying to do when we are talking about digital tools is we are trying to use the changed ecosystem. The ecosystem has changed. In this ecosystem, once upon a time, it seems people used to write in sand or on the rock using a piece of coal, right? Then people started writing on papyrus. That was the technology, papyrus. Then came the paper and pen, of course, with the pencil, and then the pen came in. And the technology has gone up, and there were some magic slates that were used. Then we had flannel cloths. Then we had flashcards, right? So we had all these things, and finally, we had all these things, and finally now we have the digital tools, right? And digital tools, we have the mobile phone, and then there are lot of apps on the mobile phone, or we have this tab which has lot of tools on that, apps on that, which people are using. So we are asking the students to use these apps in the classroom or out of the classroom also. I mean to say at their home also. And these days, governments are funding the students, and then they're buying them tabs, mobile phones, giving them and asking them to use these tools, right? So when they are doing all these things now, the government also has embarked on a journey of providing digital tools to the students. Now, I have listed out a number of tools that are there, right from the sand to the rocks to the charcoal to the flannel cloth to papyrus. I mean, to the flashcards. So all these are different tools. Now came a different tool, that is the digital tool. Digital tool, we have the instrument, that is the mobile phone or the tab or the laptop. In that instrument, we have different tools which are in the form of apps. Let me ask you one question. How many of us have actually gone to the British website? I mean, the BBC website. May I know how many have actually gone to the BBC website? BBC website. Can I have somebody typing in saying yes or something in the chat box? BBC website. Or can I see some hands going up? Raising your hands. How many of us? I haven't, sir. Okay. Vijana, he says. So we have not gone to the BBC website. Okay. So have you gone to TSOL website? TESOL website? Yeah. Jashwant says yeah. Okay. So, I mean, two have responded. Sunita has responded no. So three have responded, and there is only one yes. So what I actually infer from the responses, Nikoleshwari also says no. What I infer from these responses is, yeah, Dr. Sophia also says no. What I infer from these responses is there is technology, but we are not using it. So digital technology is there, but we are not using this technology. Right? We are not using the digital technology. Now, how many of us have used the Blackboard properly? How many of us have used the flashcards properly? How many of us are using the apps? There are number of apps. There are number of apps to learn a language, even a foreign language. If you want to learn German, Spanish, Italian, whatever language you want to learn, there are number of apps. There is simple thing like YouTube, where you have all these lessons coming in. So are we able to use these things? No, I am trying to establish the fact here that everything is available. Only thing is we are not making it a part of the curriculum. Because when it becomes a part of the curriculum, we inadvertently start using the technology. So do we have an ecosystem built in the system so that we can use this digital technology? I mean, the tools and all. People might have talked about AI yesterday, and they will be talking about AI in the sessions to come. So I don't want to focus more on AI because you'll be getting a lot of knowledge on that in the next 1 to 2 days.
It is not about how much knowledge we get on AI. We will all be overwhelmed with the knowledge of AI. Our eyes will be wide open. They are all being eye openers to us. All this technology, the usage, all that will be eye openers to us. But what I want to bring in here is not the eye opener to the technology, but the eye opener to the usage of technology. This is what I want to actually bring in today. Because, see, when we are lacing our programs with ethics, when Globe Ethics is actually a partner of this program, I think we should be talking more about the ethics. Now, I would like to put it forward this way. Now, when we are using digital technology, this actually becomes an environmental problem. And we need to handle this problem properly. Because when we're talking about ethics, then we need to keep in our mind the environmental problems that are coming in and the way we are going to handle these environmental problems. Yeah, if you go ahead and think, you will understand how these digital tools create this environmental problem. Because every unit of, every pixel that is there on your phone, every second you use the phone, it actually uses energy. And where is this energy coming from? Energy is coming from burning a lot of fuels, whatever kind, We are not using solar. We are not using the other technologies. But we are using a fossil fuel, or we are using, coal or water or whatever. All these natural resources out there. And then there is a stake for these natural resources. So when we are using digital technology, I think we should be responsible users of digital tools. This is what I want to establish this afternoon. We have to be responsible users of digital tools. In my presentation, I have a number of these digital tools listed. But before we go into these technology and the tools, we are trying to understand how, if these tools are not used effectively, how they are going to be most unethical, because this will bring business. When we are promoting digital tools, this will bring business to people who have created these tools, these instruments. Somebody who is selling a phone or a tab or computer, whatever, they are going to mint money. Because we buy a lot of things. It is like, I'll give you a very blatant example. We are lovers of books. Many times we buy books, keep them in our library, in the shelf, and we never touch them again. We are fascinated with that book. We buy it, and maybe we read 1 or 2 pages, then we don't have time. We don't have the commitment to open the book and read. So it goes waste. And then it is there in the library or in the rack. So are we not, unethical in buying this book and keeping it in the library? Likewise, these digital tools, we are okay trying to find out what they are and trying to use them. But if they are not used responsibly, then we create an environmental issue. Therefore, it becomes an ethical issue. Now, the second ethical issue is, how many can afford these tools, the digital tools, the affordability of the tools, then the availability of the tools. Are the tools available? If they are not available, how are we going to procure those tools? At what cost are we going to procure those tools? Then there is this social fabric. Are we actually harming the social fabric in using these tools, or are we trying to integrate the tool into the social fabric without, disturbing it. So there are many questions. So, Rajula madam, can you please, go to the next slide? So digital tools transforming English learning would be the gamified learning. Duolingo is an app. I think you can download this app. Kahoot is another app. Quizlet is another app. I am just giving you some examples. You can actually build a game. I mean, you can go there, play it. Once upon a time, if you still remember, there was this hangman game, right? Hangman game is there. Now, if you remember, there was in Times of India newspaper, there used to be a column on Wednesday or Thursday where there used to be different, circles and puzzles and all that, where you had to form words using whatever letters were there. So the canvas is changing, but the game is the same. So you can actually go download Duolingo or Kahoot or Quizlet and then see how this learning can happen, because learning is fun. Games are fun, learning is fun. So if you have to make learning a game, or if you have to make game a part of the learning, then I think these are the technologies that we need to get into. Then AI powered tools. There is something called Grammarly. Grammarly, actually, if you download in your computer, or I think a lot of researchers use this Grammarly. This will correct your grammar. How many of you are using these tools? How many of you know these tools? Can I have something in the chat board? Somebody commenting on the chat box? Me, yeah. Dr. Madhavilata, super. Grammarly, ChatGPT, Quillbot. These are different. Neha Motwani, super. Ability to, super. Yes. So there is ChatGPT. How many of us are using ChatGPT the way it has to be used? Helen Ezalina, yeah. Nikuleshwari. Wow. I have heard of most of the tools, but I only use Sindhuja to everyone. Yes. Matangi Deepak, yes. Thank you. Manaka Priya says, I'm using most of the tools. Super, Manaka Priya. So updation of our knowledge is very, very important. Now, I think this international webinar is actually helping us. I heard is actually helping us to think once again and ask ourselves this question: am I using the latest technology or not? So are we using these things? Collaborative platforms are there. Like you have Google Classroom, then there is Zoom that we are using now. Edmodo is another one you can use. These are just examples. There are so many. Then augmented reality, you know what augmented reality is, but you have to wear the tool on your head. And then there is this Mondly and Immerse Me, where you have this augmented reality. I mean, you have situations created on the screen, and then you can see those situations and you can interact with that. That is augmented reality. It will be like, if you go to some places like malls, you have a huge TV screen kind of thing, and then you can play cricket, and then it is interactive. From the other side, you get a ball and you start playing, or, there is a player who plays the way you actually hold your bat and hit the ball. So that is augmented reality and virtual reality. Then multimedia resources, YouTube, That is the easiest of multimedia resources. Then TED Ed or Edpuzzle. So these are certain digital tools that we need to understand how to use. So I hope you're all using it. If you're not using them, please start using them, because if we don't use them, that is being, incorrect in this situation, because we are wasting the resources that are there. So digital tools, actually, if you trust and believe that they transform the way English is learned, then definitely this will help. Because see, there is a problem with pronunciation. There is a problem with spellings. There is a problem with grammar. And all these things can be corrected because of the programs that are there in these tools. Let me give you one instance of a bitter reality that all the English teachers are facing now. If somebody is actually coming to me and telling me, sir, I want to do MA literature, I want to study literature or English, I want to do PG in English, I am actually discouraging everyone. And, I am very caustic and open in my, criticism. I discourage people not to go for MA English or, PhD in English, all that. Actually, English must not be, pursued by any student, is what I feel, because it is being pursued as a subject. And you know what is happening to English teachers? English teachers are becoming second-rated, third-rated citizens in a college or a university. And please don't hold me, accountable to this, because this situation has come in. And if you have to apply for a position outside India, abroad, like say Singapore or Dubai or any place, if you want to go and teach English, you will not have an opportunity, because your competitors would be the native speakers. Native speakers means all the white folk. So they will be the competitors. In that case, why should anybody study in the present context, when the knowledge is on the digital tools? When AI can teach everything, then why do MA English at all? Now I think you can respond. One or two. After the responses, we will go to the next one. What do you say? I'm looking for responses. Yes, responses, please. Teresa, question, sir. Oh, you don't have to. Teresa, at least you ask. AI is not correct every time. Okay, Nikuleshwari, yes, AI is not correct every time. Okay, then Teresa, the question is, are we able to use these tools? Do we have a chance at all as a teacher of English? Because teachers of English are rated as second rated or third rated teachers, because they only want you to finish your syllabus and get away from that. And they want more on the engineering. What is happening in engineering colleges? English teacher just goes and teaches whatever is there. And I don't think students pay attention to that. And how many universities and colleges are teaching MA literature? In this scenario, do you think we need to think of encouraging somebody to pursue MA English? Why there is no answer? We have opportunity, sir. Yes, definitely. There is a What kind of opportunity do we have, Teresa? What kind of opportunity do we have? Teaching and learning. Who do you teach and who do you learn? Who are the learners? Effectively. Okay. You want to teach effectively. Okay. So now there is this problem. Okay, agree. There is this problem of ADHD among students. ADHD. That means hyper, uh, hyperactive students are there who have divided attention. Their attention is divided due to technology, the use of technology. So unless and literally, I don't encourage any of my students to pursue MA English. Yes, Vijana, super. So there is no point in actually encouraging people to do English as a subject because it is technology is everywhere and one can learn from the technology. But teachers, English teachers, if you have to go to the classroom and ask students to use a digital technology, do we have that scope in the class? Tell me. Within the sphere that you are in, do you have the scope to use this technology? Do you have the scope to use this technology? Yes, you have a scope to use the technology. Very good, Teresa. So if you don't have the scope to use this technology, then what are we going to do? Yes, you have the scope to use this technology. Super. So once we know that we have a scope to use this technology, then what is stopping us from actually using it? So when we look at the importance of digital tools in English education, we have to look at these things. It enhances learner engagement and motivation because we are into that ecosystem where students are addicted to technology. I won't say technology also, addicted to digital instruments. So it is like, addiction to alcohol. People keep watching YouTube. People keep watching movies. People keep, playing PUBG even now. Even the elderly guys also are still playing PUBG. So if the learner is doing that, I think we have to move into his area and then teach him, and that is how it enhances our opportunities to be with them and then tell them what to do. So therefore, it enhances learner engagement and motivation, and it provides accessibility and flexibility. Like you can do it from home also. You can give them a lot of homework, assignment, which they will actually love to. Because if you want them to play a game, they'll be very happy to play the games and get the score. Immediately, people want that instant gratification. So with these digital tools, we can actually make the students have this instant gratification through winning the game and getting his score immediately. And this will be very objective, right? So it encourages self-paced and autonomous learning. So every student has his own way of doing things. Every student has his own speed at which he learns. So digital tools, they enhance the self-paced and autonomous learning. And digital tools facilitates cultural exchange and collaboration. When I say cultural exchange and collaboration, let me tell you this. When I was working in a maritime university, Dr. Gomati also was in our team. We were colleagues. And then we have done one online exchange program, student exchange program with a university in Japan. So our students in Chennai, they started interacting with the students in Japan for 1 hour. I mean, we had those in a series of sessions we had, and we have made a curriculum, and we have actually directed the students on how they have to go about. So each one was connected to one student on the other side, and there was exchange of ideas happening, there was collaboration happening, and all this because there was this digital tool, and that is the computer, the laptops, and the Zoom that we had at that point of time. So the international exchange happened there. So I think this is what must actually happen when we are using digital technology, because we need to show the students what is happening in the other part of the world, what they are thinking of us, and how we can understand their culture. So technology will actually, make the students see what is happening on the other side and how they are learning it and how they should be learning it. And when, see, imagine a student from our country, talking to a student in another country, and when they try to interact with them, because they will be always fascinated talking to foreigners. So when they try to interact, they will inadvertently try to be correct. So digital tools, one way will help them, learn to correct themselves through gamification and all that, and through this collaboration with other universities online. So online exchange programs like this, if we can do with other universities, I don't know whether the universities started thinking of this. Then if the universities can start thinking of this, we can have a lot of online exchange programs. No, we don't need to spend so much of money, but then it will enhance a lot, I'm telling you. So this can be done using the digital tools in English education. Can we go to the next one, please? Yeah. No. Blended learning. How come it has come to conclusion? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
one?
Yes, yes, yes. Challenges in digital language learning. So let us look at the challenges in digital language learning. There is this technological barriers, the digital divide, lack of access. So that is what I was talking in the beginning. The digital divide. How many of the students are able to have or purchase this technology? And the colleges and universities that have this technology, uh, do they give the access to student, or is it only for NAC committees to come and visit them and then give them a rating? So that is where ethics come in. Then faculty training. Now every faculty must be, I mean English faculty, they must be trained on using these tools. Now if you can count how many training programs have happened on using these digital tools. Now, I think I should appreciate, Globe Ethics and Vellumal College for actually bringing up this session. I mean, they have actually uh, thought futuristically. I should appreciate them for thinking so futuristically. This will be a jolt to everyone. And my appreciation goes to everybody who is involved in this. The faculty training, uh, does it happen on the digital tools? They should happen. Then the health concerns. One thing is, when the students start using this technology, That's a problem for his eye because he will be constantly looking at the screen. So his screen time will increase. So there will be a strain to the eye, and there is screen fatigue also. So these are the health concerns that come in when we talk about the challenges of digital language learning. Then imagination and deficiency. See, over reliance on digital tools reduces or kills the creativity. That means the students will be thinking with their eye and not with their mind, because this will arrest their thinking process. So if they read, I mean, you and I, if you read something or if you listen to something, you start imagining, you have your own imagination fired. Okay, everybody's imagination is different. When I say king, no, you may be having a king who looks like Ashoka. You may be having a king who looks, you may be thinking of a king who looks like, Kattabomana. Or you may be thinking of a king who looks like King Arthur. So king means king, but we have our own imagination, right? But what happens when it is on the screen? The imagination of somebody comes onto the screen, and there you stop imagining. So the imagination and creativity are hurt because of these digital tools that we are using. However, that is the challenge. So how are we going to make it, how are we going to handle this challenge is the question. Then the distractions, the social media distractions and the multitasking issues. Like suppose you give a mobile phone and then there is this app there, and then the student is using, suddenly the message pops up from WhatsApp. So from here to, if there is somebody who is important sending a message, he will go to that window. So he will be toggling between windows on his mobile phone. So this toggling will actually divert him and will actually kill his focus. So this is a greater challenge, and this is the divided attention that we have to tackle with. These days, that is called ADHD. The divided attention must be curtailed, and this is a major challenge that we see these days when the digital language learning is happening. Shall we go to the next one, please? Any questions this far? Shall we go to the next one? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Shall we go to the next one, please? Jayanti Aruna says yes. Yeah.
This one or next one?
No, this one only, machine learning. So machine learning versus human learning. Machine learning, now, the irony of the situation is we are trying to teach the machine the language. And then we are talking about using the machine to teach us the language. A very ironic situation we have, a very, one which we have to laugh at, not at the technology, we need to laugh at ourselves also. You must be knowing, language learning for the system, the computer. I mean, the artificial intelligence we are talking about, without language learning, no artificial intelligence can work. That is called large language learning, LLL, large language learning. So the system has to learn the language. And if you are able to teach this machine a language, then why not teach the students or human beings the language? So we are telling the system what to do and how to teach the student a language. This is ironical, and I think this is the magic that is happening also. And this machine learning is all data driven. it lacks creativity and context is limited. So whatever context you feed in that, only that context is shown, not more than that. Even in ChatGPT, if people are using ChatGPT, if you don't ask the right questions, you don't get the right answers. So now there is something called prompt engineering, where people are taught how to prompt the computer. And how does this prompt happen? Prompt happens only in English language. So they say prompt engineers are paid very heavily, or that is the future of the job. And the future jobs will be more of prompt engineering, and these people will be heavily paid. Now, if they are highly paid, if they're going to be highly paid because they can prompt in English with a machine, then I think this is where language learning gets its strength from, right? So in the universities and colleges, I think there need to be a change in the curriculum and the syllabus. The focus of learning must change. If the tool is changing, if you are thinking of changing the tools, then I think we need to change the syllabus. We need to change the curriculum. I hope you agree with me. What are we preparing the students for is very, very important. We are teaching the engineering graduates most of the time, or the management graduates most of the time, and technology is coming out as, let us say, ChatGPT, there is Gemini, hmm, it is coming up. And then if they have to give a prompt in English, and if they are not able to give a prompt in English properly, then they cannot get the answer that they want from ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. That is one thing. And to give a prompt properly, they need to think properly. And if this digital technology is not making them to think, then what a failure we are on. Don't you think so? It's a challenge that is juxtaposed against the context of machine learning. So machine learning is completely data driven, it lacks creativity, and the context is limited because whatever we feed, only within that context it talks. Then the human learning, when imagination, critical thinking, adaptability, collaboration, and partnerships, this is what is human learning. So machine learning is limited, but human learning is not limited. When it is humans learning, then it talks about imagination, critical thinking, adaptability, collaboration, and partnerships, like I told you, exchange programs. So the best methodologies for different age groups also we can choose, whether it's a machine or a human being, because based on whatever we feed the machine, we can actually give that as a lesson or as an exercise to the students based on his age. And age, when I say age, it means the adult learning also. Even an old man who is retired, he can learn English using digital tools, and then he can start his own tuition center or something like that. Learning digital technology for retiring people would be the retirement plan. So the importance of guided and blended learning approaches is what we say in machine learning versus human learning. So blended learning, these days everybody is talking about blended learning. That means use of technology in teaching is called blended learning. And I don't know whether universities and colleges will be able to support these efforts, but definitely this is what the world is going towards. Can we go to the next one? So language acquisition versus language production. Now, are we thinking of production of language, or are we thinking of just acquisition of the language? See, one acquisition is like they acquire, but they don't use it. but production is usage of the language. Like I was telling, if the student who learns language is not able to write a proper sentence, proper leave letter, then how can we imagine the student to express himself and write short stories, novels, right? No, this is what we are looking at. If somebody is learning a language, then he should be able to express in the language and make money out of it. And as teachers, I think we also must think of this, whether we are making money out of the knowledge that we have. Are we just going to the class, coming, teaching and all? After we are gone, what is that we are leaving to the world? Are we leaving at least a small book to the world? A small novel or a training book or whatever? I think we have to focus more on what we are giving or what we are leaving as a heritage or as legacy to our family and to the world. So digital tools often focus on acquisition of knowledge, but they don't look at the production of the language, acquisition of language versus production. Now, emphasis should be on production. That means speaking, writing, critical thinking, and then applying that knowledge to feed himself or herself. People think that learning language is just going and teaching. If you do MA English, the only thing you can do is teach in a school or in a college. That's all, and nothing else. And all our life, we are living a mediocre life, and it is according to the whims and fancies of the colleges or universities. They give some peanuts, and we are. I'm very sorry to say this. So, where is that we are building our chances of becoming role models to the students using digital technology? This is my question to all of you today. This is my challenge to all of you listening to this today. Then, the strategies to enhance language production. Strategy is a long-term plan. Tactic is a short-term plan. So what do we have a strategy to enhance language production using the digital tools? Or are we using them just like, uh, an event? If we become those event managers in the class, or we just go do this, we teach something and then come out. That's all. We don't check on that. There is no continuation of our teaching. Then I think there is no respect to what we teach. Right? Can't we think of this? If whatever we teach in the class commands no respect except a few marks, then what respect do we command out of this? And if you are teaching without purpose, then I think this is quite unethical to actually think of language acquisition, because it gives satisfaction to neither the learned or the taught. So can we go to the next one? So the best practices for digital integration would be blended learning. We have discussed that. It is a traditional and digital, a traditional method with the digital. Then the student-centered learning, we have always been talking about SCL, student-centered learning, personalized content. So this would be possible in digital integration. Okay, personalized content. This would be possible. So let us look at this student-centered learning. But the only catch here is whether the technology is affordable or not. Then the interactive and engaging lessons. So multimedia gamification is one area where you can actually make the students interact with the system and then make them get engaged. If somebody is engaged in PUBG or Crush, Candy Crush, then they can be engaged in this also. So I think we have to actually grow to a level. English teachers must grow to a level. I mean, the youngsters, the young teachers. This is a challenge for you all. You have to grow to the extent of creating games yourself. Yes, there are some apps where you can create games yourself. Now, today, music also is being created. You download an app and you can create your own music. Likewise, I think times are coming where the youngsters who are here in this session or the teachers who are coming young, they have to become, game creators of language. You'll be minting millions, if you can create a game. One game you create and you get millions of rupees. I think you need to focus on this area, but then it should be helping the uh, students. So not only students, anybody. I mean, see, like somebody wants to learn a language, somebody working in Dubai or somewhere in Abu Dhabi, somebody who is just a diploma, but then went there to work on a rig. Now, these people are also taught language that is needed just for their needs. No? So specific, ESP they say, English for specific purposes. So digital tools can be used to create ESP content and for ESP purpose. Okay. So interactive and engaging lessons can happen in multimedia gamification. Then assessment and feedback, this is very, very important. Like I was talking earlier, gratification, instant gratification is what everybody is looking at. So assessment, a proper assessment and feedback will be possible, definitely possible through digital integration, because the AI analytics will track the performance of the students. Can we go to the next one, please? To conclude, digital tools enhance learning, but they require mindful integration. Otherwise, it will become most unethical. Because if you are wasting time and resources, the interest and everything, then there is a lot of injustice done to everyone at the same time. So these tools must be used mindfully to enhance the learning, and then balance the technology with human-centric approaches. So human at the center. It's not the student at the center. That's what I'm trying to say finally. Now we're talking about student-centered, but student is a human also. He has emotions. So can we balance this digital technology? Using digital technology will actually help us in a way to balance this learning with human-centric approach. Then the future trends in digital English education is what we need to look at. Until and unless we are thorough with what is happening now, here and now with technology, the digital tools and all that, we cannot prepare ourselves for the future. If we cannot prepare ourselves for the future, see, we are becoming redundant. Let me tell you one very, very worrying thing. With AI, artificial intelligence is growing at a very fast pace, that to teach machine learning and artificial intelligence in the classroom in engineering colleges is becoming very, very difficult, because they are not able to find a proper faculty to teach. So things will be changing, I'm telling you. AI, you will not be finding a teacher later on, because before the teacher learns something and teaches and the student learns and gives an exam and all that, everything is there on the net, and then a student can just go log in and learn more than that. So colleges are not able to start an AI department. Even if they are starting an AI department, I don't know how effectively they will be doing, because there is this crisis of not getting a faculty to teach the latest technology, because the technology is increasing at a very, very faster pace. So as English teachers, I think we will become dinosaurs if we don't adapt ourselves to digital technology, and if we don't think of ways and means to use it ethically in the classroom. So I would like to end here for taking some questions from you. And I would like to listen to some feedback from you and then questions. And if there is anything you want to give it critically, please give it, because I'm looking at those criticisms. Satya is asking something. Satya? Satya M. Thank you so much for this interactive session. Can you tell what advice would you give to teachers who are new to using digital tools in the classroom? First of all, find the tool. Satya, that's a good question. First of all, find the tool. Find the apps that are there. Try to find one at a time, one app at a time, and start using those apps. And I tell you, our students are an army. We are working with army, and you ask the students, they are much better than us. So find out one good student and who is good at this. Learn from them to teach them better. So that would actually enhance the participation of the teacher and the student. Now it is, once upon a time, it's the dominance of pedagogy. Like the teacher is the authority in the classroom. Now teacher and the student become partners because of this digital atmosphere that we create, and then we start appreciating each other. Students appreciates the teacher appreciates the student, and appreciation always holds each of them together, and they can be scaling heights. Thank you. Prajapatis, thank you for your interactive and informative session. Yeah, thank you. I want some questions and feedback. Thank you is okay, but please give me your feedback. Feedback and your questions are very important. Jayanti Aruna says, thank you for making this webinar effective. Thank you, Jayanti. You also added value. I thank everybody who has added value, asking a lot of questions and making your comments and timely intervention in this session. So I want more of you to come up with your comments. I want to know whether this was really a session that helped you think. Yeah, this is a good question by Vijana. Can we manage the discipline by using digital technology in a 50 minutes classroom, sir? Wonderful question. This is a challenge. No, it all depends on how we administer this. A teacher at the same time is a leader, a manager, and an administrator. So management is different, administration is different. So all these roles come up immediately. So if you sit together and think, if you make students a part of that, this is what I'm talking about. You make them part of this classroom and they will help us, anything you just call them and tell, I want you to do this, and then find some leader who can actually manage things, and then he will do it. You just need to administer all those things. How can we motivate English teacher aspirants and become successful teachers? English teacher aspirants, if somebody wants to become an English teacher, you ask them why they want to become an English teacher. That is the first question. I don't think the environment now, the ecosystem now supports any kind of, English teachers. And unfortunately, let me tell you this, English teachers that are coming out of the universities and colleges don't have the skills. They can't speak a proper sentence without grammatical mistake. I hope you agree with me. If the teachers are like that, and then if you are using digital technology, which is actually using correct grammatical sentences, then why will the student have any respect for the teacher? Tell me this. So if anybody is, going for MA English or English literature studies, why are they going? What is the purpose? They want to, create good content. If they are not enhancing their skills, then I don't think they can command respect in the class. If you can't command respect in the class, if the digital environment seems better to the student, then what respect can we command at all? So this is the challenge for all of us, including me as an English teacher. This is a paradigm shift. Yes, Norke rightly says that there is a paradigm shift from books to handsets today. So does reading online materials be as effective as reading from the book? Yeah, this is only adapting, a question of adapting. Yes, reading with the book, I feel personally, that is more gratifying. I mean, I love to read books, but using Kindle, I can't. But if the new generation feels that the Kindle is better, then it all depends on their liking. Kavita, what is the digital tool we can use for speaking? These are all interactive tools we have. You have interactive tools. Like even I'll tell you very simple one. I'll tell you simple one. ChatGPT is now able to communicate to you. You can actually talk to ChatGPT. Gemini, you can talk to that, and Metaverse, you can talk to that, and it will give you a reply. Satwant Kaur, thank you for this informative interactive session. Thank you. Norke, English is college undergrad levels are mostly literature. What would help the students to improve their language? Yes. See, this is a question, Norke Wangmu. This is a very good question. See, literature. Why should anybody learn literature? See, language acquisition through literature is what we should look at. No, when we talk about literature, it is all about the thinking process, number one. It is all about articulation. How we can articulate our thought. Many people have thoughts, but they don't know how to articulate. I'll give you a very, very simple example to understand this. The use of idioms and phrases, they are a part of literature, right? If somebody knows how to use an idiom, he will be able to articulate better. If somebody knows how to use a particular phrase, he will be articulating very well. No, and that will actually satisfy his senses also, aesthetic senses. So when we are thinking of literature, we are talking about aestheticity in our communication, and that is possible only through literature. And if somebody is studying literature for gratification of his aesthetic sense, then that would be good. And if he's able to use the language properly, then that will actually help him. Otherwise, a certificate in literature will not help him as long as they are not able to speak without mistake in English and without proper pronunciation. Please send the link again. Yes, the feedback link. Yes, somebody is asking for a feedback link. Yeah, Jayanti Aruna says English teacher is not only shining in college and schools, but still, if I'm not wrong, there are a lot of platforms for them, sir. Yes, you are right. Jayanti Aruna, you are right. Teresa says, who should be an English teacher in higher education according to sir and your experience? Yeah, see, this is what I tell you. See, MA English is just a passport to go and sit there in the department because they require a proper certificate or a proper qualification to be there. But without proper reading skills, if the teacher is not able to read properly, if the teacher is not able to pronounce properly, if the teacher has no sense of grammar when he or she speaks, if he or she cannot make a proper sentence which is grammatically correct, then they are not fit for that. Even the colleges and universities also, sometimes you will agree with me, somebody who is teaching physics or maths may be very good at English, and that physics or maths professor or lecturer will be laughing at the English teacher saying, ah, what is this English people? They don't know how to do it. They
இந்த
don't know how to speak and how did they become English
சைன் அப்புறம்
teachers?
போட்டுக்கலாம்.
This is what this is. So, shall we take this insult? How long shall we take this insult? So skills mean a lot. English is not a subject. English is a skill.
டெலீட் பண்ணு.
So please come. Yes. Any more feedback? Rajula and Dr. Gomati ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it
Thank
is
you
up
so
to you
much.
now.
So for digital immigrants like me, it is yesterday was eye-opening day, and today you have widened that. So for people like me, it will be of high help. And we are really happy to have you today as a resource person to see my friend
you,
after
ma'am.
so many days.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I too feel the same. Yes, Vijana. Vijana, yes, I agree with you. English is looking like everybody's cup of tea. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry comes to English teacher and then asks whatever question he wants to ask. They think that English teacher knows everything about English. And we should not be letting them down also. And if a teacher of another subject, commerce or economics or physics or chemistry, is able to speak better English than us, is able to articulate better than us, no, we should, I think, take it very seriously. We will not have any kind of respect in the college or every subject teacher is ready to teach English, yes? Hazeline, thank you for informative, and I strongly agree with your idea. Thank you, Hazeline. Lakshmi, thank you, Lakshmi, for the appreciation. I want you actually to think of this. See, I can just list out a lot of digital tools. There are tools, but then why we use them, how we use them, is there a reason, the purpose behind using them, the ethics behind using them? That is what we need to think about. See, English is the only subject that is the window to the world. And if our window is not good, if it is opaque, if it is not blurred, or if it is having the blinders on it, then we will lose our purpose and orientation. Thank you, Lakshmi. Over to Rachula and Madam.
Yes, sir. I am Kavita from Melamal College of Engineering. I
Thank you,
have
ma'am.
learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. You made us a great, tremendous feel because you crossed from ancient tools to recent tools like sand, rock, and recent tools like ChatGPT and a game app like Kahoot, Duolingo, and Quizlet. So every game app and each and everything from new technologies, and you gave the machine learning versus human learning. And you have given something about the prompt engineering and blended learning, and you have shared about a language acquisition versus language production also. and what are the best practices we have to give for students. That also you have shared about us. And there are some 4 best practices you have given. Number 1, blended learning, then student-centered learning, interactive and engaging lessons, then last one, assessment and feedback. So all the things you have given, it will be very useful for us. Thank you very much for your presentation, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I'm so grateful to you for for all the great words that you have for me and this presentation. And I'm thankful to everyone who is appreciative of this session and also who could not express. So I hope this will help all of us to enhance teaching learning process using the digital tools. Thank you so much, Rajula and Dr. Gomati, ma'am from Velamal. And I thank the Velamal management also for hosting such a wonderful program.
Thank you,
Simtaja,
Mr. There was a
yeah.
comment, I don't know whether, I'm not sure whether you
Yeah.
read it. Felt like meeting a family member of English. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Vijana, yes, I see.
I like
Yeah,
that
I should
comment.
thank you, Vijana. Yeah, we are all a family. We are English family. I mean, the teachers' family which teach English, no? We are the fraternity. And I also feel the same.
Very interesting. Thank you, Mathusala.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Gomati ma'am, would you like to say something or we close?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
As Vijana said, I met my brother after a long time.
Yeah, really.
On
I feel
screen.
the same. Yes.
Thank you
yes,
so
yes.
much. Thank you so much for
Thank you, ma'am.
honoring
Thank you
us.
so much.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you,
Yeah,
Madam
Teresa.
Rajula.
Thank you, Gomati ma'am. You're welcome.
Thank you, Teresa. Yeah.
Dr. John, thank you so much for really being with us among your very tight schedule. And initially
Thank
there
you.
was little bit of that network issue, but
Yeah.
after that it went very well. So thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thanks, ma. Thank you. Thanks,
Ma'am, shall I
everyone.
close it?